Okay, council, are we ready? Anthony. Rosa, you ready?
Almost.
Okay. Okay, I call to order today's council meeting on February 11th, 2025. Jessica Emerson from Paramount High School, will you please come up to the podium and begin the Pledge of Allegiance for us? Everyone, please rise.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much, Jessica. And now we will have, for invocation, Pastor Lorenzo Archuleta from Unshackled Ministries. Please come up to the podium for invocation. Thank you.
Let's pray. Heavenly Father, I come before you this evening, Lord, to give you praise, glory, and honor. Thanking you for this wonderful city council and their leadership to the city of Paramount, Lord. Father, I pray that tonight, Lord, as they open up, Lord God, that you would touch each and every one of their hearts with your wisdom and your blessing in governing this city. Thank you for all the plans they make and everything they do. And may you continue to bless them and bless the people in the city of Paramount. In Jesus' name, amen.
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 Thank you, Pastor Archuleta. Please be seated. Madam City Clerk, may we please have roll call?
Yes, Madam Mayor. Councilmember Aguayo.
Here.
Councilmember Olmos.
Here.
Councilmember Cuellar Stallings.
Present.
Vice Mayor Lemons.
Here.
Mayor Delgadillo.
Present. Well, good evening, everyone. And thank you for joining us tonight as we recognize several special members of the Paramount community. Before we do that, I would like to share a recap video from the Clutter-Free Paramount event last month. This program allows residents to declutter their homes, getting rid of bulky items, green waste, electronic waste, and, of course, old documents for shedding. Afterwards, my colleagues and I will gather at the podium. Please begin the video. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, now my council members, we may go to the podium, please. Would Jessica Emerson please come back up? Jessica is a member of the Paramount High School Black Student Union, or BSU. The BSU fosters student growth and development through diversity. They provide an opportunity for students of all races to celebrate Black culture, lifestyle, and history. Tonight, we are presenting their group with a proclamation in honor of Black History Month. Thank you for leading us in the pledge. That was wonderful. Thank you. So let's take a photo, and we have the proclamation for you, Jessica, in your club. There you go, sweetheart.
Here, a photo. And then we'll do one just with Jessica, and then we'll have a group. One more. Yes, please.
Come on up, come on up. Yeah, sure, we'll move aside. Yes, we will.
And then there's one.
There you go.
Thank you.
Now, I have the honor of recognizing the next recipient of the Mayor's Gold Key Award for the month of February. Would Deputy District Attorney Kelly Tatman please join us? Ms. Tatman's journey in public service began in the year 2000 with the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office. In 2011, she embraced a new chapter right here in Paramount as our community prosecutor, a role in which she dedicated the past 14 years to enhancing public safety and evaluating the quality of life for all our residents. Working side by side with our Public Safety Department and the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department Special Assignments Team, Ms. Tatman tackles everything from nuisance abatements to complex quality of life issues. One of Ms. Tatman's most innovative accomplishments was the creation and implementation of the city's informal juvenile diversion program. This pioneering initiative not only addresses and deters juvenile crime, but also gives our youth a real chance to change their trajectory in life. Ms. Tatman's commitment extended far beyond the courtroom. For many years, she shared her wisdom and guidance by teaching the Project Lead curriculum at Jefferson and Tanner Elementary Schools. There, she helped our fifth graders learn valuable lessons about making good decisions and resisting peer pressure. Her influence has touched countless lives, instilling in our youngest citizens the virtues that make a community strong. In our courtrooms, Ms. Tatman has been a tireless advocate. Her belief that small crimes lead to big ones has been a guiding principle in our ongoing fight for a safer Paramount. Moreover, her collaborative spirit shone brightly as she worked closely with our sheriff deputies, public safety staff, and our former city attorney, John Kavanaugh, to draft and implement our groundbreaking street racing ordinances. These ordinances have since become a benchmark for other cities and law enforcement agencies, reducing disruptive street takeovers. Ms. Tatman, you have not only served our city, you have enriched it, inspiring us all to work together for the common good. This recognition is twofold, as you are set for retirement next month. Congratulations, Ms. Tatman, and thank you for everything you've done to make Paramount a great place to live and work. On behalf of the City Council and all who call Paramount home, it is with deep gratitude and admiration that I present you with the Mayor's Gold Key Award for February. Would you like to say a few words?
Do you want me to?
It's okay. It's okay.
No, it's fine. I'll say a couple words.
Okay, come on.
I am an attorney, so I don't lack words. I just want to say that working here in Paramount has been such a fulfilling experience. I was able to be very creative and step out of the box of being a prosecutor and really work with the best public safety department and the sheriff's department, especially the SAO team, the special assignment team. They made it fun, they made it easy, and I would be remiss if I didn't thank Maggie for her support and just always being there for me. And last but not least, well, I have to say thank you to my family because they're here and they've really supported me, been very patient when I had to take calls or do something on the weekends or late at night. But most importantly, I want to thank Dave Baton. He has been not only a great coworker, a great coffee partner, and he's, as he so kindly said to my husband tonight, my work husband. So thank you to everybody I work with. I will never forget Paramount. And if you ever need me for anything, I'm always just a phone call away.
Thank you so much.
The family would like to join in on the photo? And
Her work husband? So cute.
Mayor, if you don't mind. Yes, a little bit. If you could scoot in a little bit more. There we go. Hold on. Ready? Big smile.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, it's already February, but the holiday events from this past winter are still fresh in our hearts. In December, we saw nice big crowds and hundreds of smiling faces. Part of what makes the season so successful is the many volunteers who help us out at each event. We couldn't do it without you. Tonight, we have invited all the wonderful volunteers who chose to spend the 2024 holiday seasons with us, the City of Paramount. When I call your group's name, please come up to the podium. Each group will receive a certificate of recognition, starting with the members of MUSA. Would you please join us? These ladies bagged 25,000 apples and candy canes for the Santa Train program. Thank you. So ladies, let's take a photo.
Okay, so we're gonna have to, so everybody watch your step, we're gonna move back here for the photo. And then if I can have Musa on each side, and then council, can I have you stand at the very top?
Okay.
Okay. Ready. 1, 2, and 3. Another one. 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Next up, we have members from our Paramount Teen Leadership Alliance who assisted our tree lighting and Santa's Snowfest events. Please join us.
Okay, so what we'll do is we'll have 2 PTL members here and 2 here, and then we'll have the.
A photo, yes.
Yes. So we can have you guys stand. So Mayor, let me put you here. Guys turn a little sideways like this. There we go. Perfect. And then if you guys want to put it here in the middle. Okay, ready? 1, 2, and big smile. 1, 2, and 3. Perfect.
Thank you. And finally, we have members from the Paramount High School cheer team who assisted during the tree lighting, Santa Snowfest, and Santa Train events. Are you here tonight? Come on up, girls. And we will have a photo.
Yes.
Thank
So
you.
if I can have council again.
Sure.
in the back, please. You guys will cheer. If I can have
That would be
council right at
nice.
the top of the step.
You have a
Should make
pee
them-
in their shoes.
You should make them do one cheer.
Half of the cheer on this side and half on that side.
Do more harm. Some people.
This way. Can I have you step this way? And-
It actually might be.
Oh, wait, proclamation. Let me have you both both together there.
Ready?
Okay, big smiles.
1, 2, 3. Another one. 1, 2, and 3.
Perfect.
Yeah. All the way to the ground. Gee, thanks, Peggy. Hey. Okay, and let's see. Once we take this photo, okay, after we take this, I'm going to ask for all the volunteers to come back up for a group photo. Thank you. Everyone.
Together. We should have stayed up there, huh?
Yeah, we should have
That's
stayed up
okay.
there. Okay, Moose and PTO, we already got all those.
Yeah,
Take a
and then we'll
photo.
transition.
Okay.
You guys are gonna
all
go
right.
in the.
Come on, everyone.
Yep.
We're gonna help.
How do you want our
The tangerine was so they're tiny.
Let me have you stand right there. Megan, you were in front. Oh my goodness. Are we? Can I have you face
Oh, you already did that.
Maybe if I have her stand.
Or we could bring.
Can I have you come this way right here? Okay. Well, we have to stand right here. Can we see everyone else? You stay right here. Wherever you want. Is that good? right, everybody, big smiles. Ready, 1, 2, 3.
We're gonna do one more right over here. Big smiles. 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3. All right. Thank you, ladies.
Okay, next we would have National Children's Dental Health Month. Would Dental Director Dr. Mackenzie Kate Martin and Advancement Associate Aramani Padilla, Children's Dental Health Clinic, please come up? Tonight, we are proclaiming February as National Children's Dental Health Month. This year's slogan reminds us that children's teeth are meant to last a lifetime, and a healthy smile is important to a child's self-esteem. Many foods and drinks are high in sugar, more than ever before. In the U.S., individuals consume approximately 50 gallons of sugary beverages per year. That is why it is important for families to prioritize their children's dental health. This month, we are presenting our proclamation to the Children's Dental Health Clinic. They are a nonprofit that provides dental services to our young residents who may have trouble getting access to such care. They are a great source to our community. Would either of you like to say a few words?
Oh, sure.
Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
I may not be a lawyer, but I do also like to talk. We just want to thank the city of Paramount so much for their unwavering support and for being such champions of children's oral health. Dental caries, cavities, remains the most prevalent chronic disease in children, which is a staggering fact considering it is both treatable and preventable. So we appreciate everything you guys do to help us serve over 5,500 patients a year in our mission to end dental decay. Thank you.
Yes. Okay, we're
So we can
fine.
transition into the
Yes,
photo.
we will take a photo now.
Okay, so if I can and then let me have you hold the proclamation. Let me have you zoom a little bit more.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, would students of the Paramount High School Black Student Union please join us at the podium? Paramount is proud to also recognize February as Black History Month. Come on up, girls. Thank you. This is a time to reflect and honor the rich history of African American heritage that has shaped our nation. Black History Month was pioneered by Dr. Carter G. Woodson, a historian and educator who in 1926 established a week-long celebration. This year's theme, African Americans and Labor, highlights and celebrates the powerful impact of African American work across history, from factory floors to civil service. Black History Month serves as a reminder of our ongoing journey towards equality and justice for all. It is our honor to take part in this recognition. Would one of you like to say a few words? Who is going to speak? Yes. Go ahead, sweetheart. Yes.
Thank you so much for acknowledging the things that BSU does, and yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. Here we go.
Right there in the middle. And then there.
Thank you, girls. Okay. Well, finally, our final presentation. Would Luis Rodriguez please join us? Some of you may recognize Mr. Rodriguez as the president of the Paramount Youth Baseball Organization. He first began his journey with the organization 15 years ago, coaching his eldest son, who was very passionate about baseball. His involvement expanded over the years as he managed fields, registration, and schedules. Mr. Rodriguez started coaching and took on multiple roles, becoming essential to the Paramount Junior Athletic Association League's operation. He managed his first all-star team in 2013, later leading multiple teams and achieving significant tournament successes across California and Las Vegas. He organized the first international tournament in La Paz, Baja California, with a young team ranking in the top 5 in California. In response to declining participation during COVID-19, Mr. Rodriguez founded the Paramount Youth Baseball Organization, which grew to over 200 participants by fall of 2024. As president, he took pride in seeing 4 players from his older select team now playing college baseball, highlighting his commitment to athletic development and education. This past December, Mr. Rodriguez announced his plan to step down as president after 15 years of service. As he prepares for a new chapter, we wanted to thank and congratulate Mr. Rodriguez for his lasting impact on our young athletes. Congratulations, and we wish you the very best. If you wish, would you like to say a few words?
Oh, come on.
I want to thank the city of Paramount for giving me the opportunity to be in the position that I was. Obviously, I found myself joining a great team, and even now, as I've left, I think I've left a great team as well, so they'll be continuing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Here's your compliment. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, this concludes our presentations for the evening. We will now take a recess and resume the business portion of our meeting very shortly. Thank you, everyone. Okay, I call the meeting back to order. Mr. Moreno, are there any public comments, updates from the last City Council meeting?
Absolutely, Madam Mayor. We have some updates to share with you from the January 28th City Council meeting. Our first commenter at that meeting was Adrian Landa from World Energy. He announced an upcoming fire drill at the refinery on February 5th, and also a planned turnaround from March 28th to March 30th, and he provide information for community outreach efforts. As a quick follow-up to this, the city will share World Energy social media posts and on their planned activities for that. Then we had several residents voice concerns about escalating rents and additional costs, calling for a 3% rent control ordinance, discussing the difficulties in managing the high cost of rent, and the financial strain that is caused by the rising rents. And these residents were from the Rio Puente Mobile Home Park, the Golden State Mobile Home Park, and the Cherryfield Mobile Home Park. As a follow-up to that, the city manager reminded the residents that a mobile home MOU meeting was scheduled for January 30th, which did take place. The meeting included a discussion of the purpose and process for establishing an MOU, and also we introduced 3 representatives from the mobile home ownership and 3 representatives from the mobile home tenants. So that meeting again was held on January 30th, and there is a follow-up to that meeting on February 27th, so in a couple of weeks here. Additionally, staff met with residents of the Cherryfield Village to address their trash concerns. And that concludes the follow-up from the last council meeting. Be happy to answer any questions.
Are there any questions? Okay, thank you, Mr. Moreno. Public comments. Now is a time that members of the public may comment on items that are not on today's agenda. As a reminder, during this portion of the meeting, speaking time is limited to a total of 30 minutes. At the conclusion of the time, if there are additional speaker cards remaining, those speakers will be heard after a successatory agency item. As a courtesy, to maximize the time available during public comment, please refrain from clapping and limit your comments to items not raised previously. Mr. Moreno, are there any speaker cards this evening?
Yes, Madam Mayor, we have one speaker card from Miss Andrea Crow at the Paramount Library. Andrea, come on up.
Hi, good evening, Mayor Delgadillo, Vice Mayor Lemons, council members, and the residents of the city of Paramount. Paramount Library is celebrating African American and Black History Month with 2 special programs. On Tuesday, February 18th at 5 p.m., teens will learn about the life and art of Alma Woodsey Thomas and create their own painting inspired by her unique style. On Wednesday, February 26th at 2 p.m., adults will learn about the history and impact of the Brotherhood of Sleeping Car Porters while creating a commemorative coaster. For those who prefer learning from the comfort of their own home, the library has virtual programming. This month's virtual programs include an author talk with Maya Ariel, a class on beginning African American genealogy, and a conversation with Auntie Bev, the vocabulary builder. Visit lacountylibrary.org/VP for dates, times, and even more virtual programs. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, next we have the City Council consent calendar. Is there a motion, Council?
Move approval. Second.
Okay, Ms. Luce, may we have a roll call, please?
Councilmember Aguayo?
Yes.
Councilmember Olmos? Councilmember Quer-Stallings?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Lemons?
Yes.
Mayor Delgadillo?
Yes. Now we move on to new business. This is an oral report providing an overview of the 2024 Annual Uniform Crime Report. Mr. Moreno, may we have the report, please?
Absolutely, Madam Mayor. This is something we do every year, and that's a review of our crime statistics from the previous year. With us tonight is Los Angeles County Sheriff's Captain from Lakewood Station, Dan Holguin, here with us to give us an overview of the crime statistics from 2024. And just to steal a little bit of his thunder, we do have some good news to report to the community that overall crime was down in 2024 compared to 2023. So Captain Holguin is once again here to share his thoughts on this. Hi, Dan.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Mayor Delgadillo and fellow council members for having me here tonight. On behalf of the department and the deputies and professional staff proudly serving the city of Paramount, I am pleased to have the opportunity to provide this report. This 2024 annual crime report will pertain to Uniform Crime Reporting Program, which collects crime data of reported violent and property crimes in the nation, which are classified as Part 1 crimes. These include violent crimes consisting of homicide, rape, robbery, aggravated assaults, along with property crimes to include burglary, grand theft auto, theft, and arson. Like City Manager said, I am happy to say that in 2024, we had a decrease of 5% in all Part 1 crimes when compared to 2023. We had 1,702 incidents in 2024 compared to 1,789 last year. So when it comes to our crimes against persons, we had an overall decrease of 25%. We had 275 incidents in 2024 compared to 368 in 2023. In our homicides, we remained the same. We had 1 in 2024 compared to 1 in 2023. Our rapes also had a decrease of 17%. We had 12 in 2023 compared to 10 last year. Our aggravated assaults also had a decrease of 28%. And we had 233 victims in 2023 compared to 164 victims last year. Keep in mind that these incidents are counted per victim and not per incident. So one assault incident can yield several victims, increasing the count. In 2024, 47 or 29% of these aggravated assaults were domestic violence related. 40 or 24% of the victims assaulted were assaulted by a firearm, where a firearm was either brandished or pointed at an individual, or the firing of the firearm. Our robberies, we had a decrease of 10%. There were 122 robberies in 2023 compared to 100 last year. 58 of these robberies were classified as strong arm robberies, and the majority of the robberies were aggravated shoplifting incidents where the suspect used force of fear to facilitate the theft. Often there were no injuries to any of the victims. 42 of the armed robberies involved a weapon or simulated weapon. So when we talk about crimes against persons, we had an overall increase of 0.004%. It almost remained the same. We had 1,421 in 2023 compared to 1,427 last year. Our burglaries. In burglaries, we had an overall decrease of 3%. We had 226 incidents in 2023 compared to 220 last year. They were classified as 178 commercial burglaries and 42 residential burglaries. Our theft had an increase of 19%. One of the reasons that we had an increase, and it was 19%. We had 567 in 2023 compared to 673 last year. And these thefts included 239 grand thefts, 205 petty thefts, and 229 thefts from vehicles. Our auto theft showed a decrease of 16%. We had 621 in 2023 compared to 520 last year. Then we had our arsons. Our arsons had an increase of 100%. I know that sounds a lot, but when you keep it in numbers, we had 7 in 2023 compared to 14 last year. 8 of the 14 were identified as property damage as a vehicle, and 7 of the 14, or 50%, all stemmed from arsons from stolen vehicles being stripped and then burned. Our calls for service had a slight decrease of 1%. We had 17,873 in 2023 compared to 17,659 last year. Our 911 calls decreased by 18%, from 526 in 2023 to 431 last year. Our regular calls decreased by 1%, from 17,347 in 2023 to 17,228 last year. Another item we keep track of is our response times, how soon we get there to the call. Our calls for service are categorized between 3 incidents: routine, priority, and emergent. Routine incidents are called that are non-priority in nature, usually crime reports that don't require an immediate response. Our priority incidents are those that require an immediate response, but not Code 3 response. And then our emergent incidents are anything requiring a Code 3 response. These would include felony crimes in progress, life-threatening incidents, traffic collisions with injuries. As you can see that our routine calls have decreased 2.5%. So from our average time we would get to a call last year in routine was 50 minutes and 50.4 minutes. To last year, we're doing 46.9. Our priority calls has seen an increase of 2.5, from 11.8 minutes to 12.1 minutes. And then our emergent calls also seen an increase 2.6%, from 3.9 minutes to 4 minutes. The department thresholds for these response times are 60 minutes for routine, 20 minutes for priority, and 10 minutes for emergencies. Although we are well below the threshold, we will continue to work with the city staff to continue to decrease these timelines. It appears that the city's additional deployment of community service officers responding to routine calls and traffic calls, and the department's sorts program, where residents can file online reports, has seen success and continue to decrease our response in our routine calls. Another measure that we do is we track our arrest stats. Our arrest has seen a decrease compared to last year of 10%. We had 843 in 2023 compared to 761 last year. Part of the decrease can be attributed to my direction of promoting community policing and providing better customer service to our residents. I have directed our deputies to slow things down, carefully listen to our residents, be empathetic, and provide solutions to their concerns. Ultimately, we want to build relationships and trust with our residents. Other factors in the reduction of arrests are related to are reduced based on the 911 calls, which usually report crimes in progress where deputies respond immediately and apprehend the suspect. Since we did have that deduction of 10%, I believe, 10%. I'm sorry, 18% in 911 calls. Also, in some of the minor crimes, the increased use of an administrative citation is more appropriate than the arrest. So our 2025 crime prevention strategies. Last year, we concentrated on enforcement efforts targeting our highest crimes increases. They were identified as aggravated assaults, where we had an increase of 34%, burglaries, where we had an increase of 23%, and auto thefts, where we had an increase of 26%. So with that direction, what we did is our SAO team collaborated with the Public Safety Department, Operations Safe Streets Bureau, our Crime Strategy Unit, our crime analyst, and several vehicle manufacturers to create strategies and enforcement efforts to reduce these crimes. As you can see, the collaboration and strategies adopted were extremely successful, as all three crimes targeted seen a significant decline in 2024. What we did see in 2024, we saw a rise in our theft-related crimes. Although robberies are down overall, our aggravated shoplifting crimes, which are classified as commercial robberies, they are up. Our station was identified as having a higher than average crime of commercial robberies. In November, our crime strategy unit tasked Lakewood Station to conduct weekly and monthly reviews and to use proven crime strategies to reduce these robberies. Here in Paramount, we've identified 6 hotspots in the city where these robberies are occurring. Some of the strategies we used were increased patrol and visibility, public and business awareness campaigns, undercover operations, enhanced surveillance, and monitoring, and data-driven policing. During the month of December, our SAO team conducted an undercover operation at our local hardware store, and they were able to make 3 arrests during that operation. We are also seeing some progress in reducing theft from Proposition 36. Last year, California voters passed a law that allowed felony charges for possessing certain hard drugs and thefts under $950 if that person had 2 prior drug or theft convictions. We know that drug addiction is an epidemic, and those that are addicted usually steal to maintain their drug use. These laws have allowed us for tougher penalties for serial retail thieves and have mandated drug and mental health treatment for these offenders. The judicial review process built into these charges will ensure individualized assessments, balancing public safety and the fair and appropriate, proportionate penalties and treatment. In December 18th, 2024, Proposition 36 became in effect. And during those 8 weeks, Lakewood Station personnel have charged 24 people with a new crime, and 9 were arrested in the city of Paramount. Typically, these suspects would have been detained, cited, and released, and most likely continue to target our community. Now they are held in custody until their case is reviewed by a judge. We've also noticed that our new district attorney and all theft-related misdemeanor private persons arrests are being filed in court, placing first-time offenders on notice. We know that with these collaborations, strategies, and additional resources and tools, that the theft-related crimes will see a significant reduction in 2025. We will continue to be assertive in enforcing all theft-related crimes, building a reputation that if you're a criminal, do not come to Paramount because you'll get caught, arrested, and held accountable. With that said, we know that most of the complaints we receive from our residents are not because of Part 1 crimes, but quality of life issues. Our team will balance their time and also address the issues of homeless outreach, street takeovers, illegal vending, loud parties, and traffic enforcement. Crime prevention is a crucial aspect of maintaining public safety and reducing criminal activity within Paramount. The city has played a significant role in crime prevention by implementing policies and programs to aim to reduce crime, such as increasing deputy presence, incentivizing security with the rebate program, and implementing neighborhood watch programs. Our residents support is also essential for effective crime prevention. Our residents have also helped to prevent crime by reporting suspicious activities, participating in crime prevention programs, and promoting safety awareness. We are truly blessed to have the support of both the city and the residents. By fostering collaboration and promoting a shared sense of responsibility for public safety, we will continue to maintain a safer and more secured city for all our residents. In closing, I want to express my sincere appreciation to the city council, city managers, public safety team, and every member of the Paramount community. Thank you, and God bless everyone, and I can take any questions now.
Council, are there any questions? Thank you, Captain. Excellent, excellent report.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Next, we will have the ordinance number 1196, revising the city's regulations related to mobile food vendors. Mr. Moreno, may we have the report, please?
Yes, Madam Mayor, we're bringing to you for approval an ordinance modifying the hours of operations for food trucks and also for clarifying some language in the regulations. These changes, if you recall, were directed by the City Council at a recent council meeting. So with that, I'll turn it over to our Planning Director, Mr. John King. John?
Thank you, John. Thank you, Mayor Delgadillo and council members. So yes, this is putting into action your feedback from the December 17 meeting. Updating regulations for mobile food vendors, their trucks, primarily extending the hours by 1 hour throughout town. And as you know, food trucks are allowed in the commercial zones and manufacturing areas, but not residential areas. City Council updated longstanding regulations in 2020, allowing for a way for food trucks to be permitted in the public roadway. Before that, it was just private property. So you modernized the code at that time, which is nice. But at the end of last year, the thought was to take another look, see how it's been, 3 or 4 years later, and how can we improve the regulations, being business friendly and paying attention to potential trucks, existing food trucks, and the brick and mortar businesses as well. So at that meeting, you gave your input about, it's a good idea to extend the hours by 1 hour in the evening. And just a few other minor changes in here we're proposing with your direction, giving some distances between food trucks and another food truck, and also a food truck and sidewalk vendors. Also, just some minor clarifications of definitions. And that's where we are, just again balancing all of our constituencies. In December, we gave a similar map showing actually 8 locations, fixed locations. You can see on here, number 9, West Catering. That's the one that's kind of a holdover. It was permitted under the old regulations that allowed for multiple stops I think it's only 2 hours at a time, and those are mostly in the industrial area. West Catering, they're owned by Standard Catering, so that's their retail arm of Standard Catering storage at Alondra and Garfield. But here we have number 10. This is a new addition since the December review, La Barbacoa at 7625 Rosecrans, and just kind of point it out here. That's across from the swap meet in front of Staub Metals. Here's the main change. So just a little summary regarding hours of operation. On the left side is how it is now. On the right side is what's proposed for the ordinance and what a current truck could reapply for to get that extra time, or for someone else to come in and go by the proposed regulations. So right now we have kind of 2 sets, private property and the public roadways. So right now there's a window of opportunity for someone to apply for it. On private property, it's 12 p.m. to 9 p.m., and on the roads, 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. But within that window is a limitation. On private property, it's 5 hours. On the public areas, it's 4 hours. So you gave the direction that you were okay to extend the 9 p.m. cutoff on private property to 10 p.m. That's this right side here. And then for public to also to extend to 10. And by doing that, you said it was okay. Let's allow for that possible 1 hour on private property. It's going from 5 hours to 6 hours, and on public roads from 4 hours to 5 hours. So that's in the draft ordinance. And just a few other minor things to point out. We're including cafes and tea shops, including them with licensed restaurants with the 500-foot distance requirement between mobile food vendors, mobile food vending trucks, and brick and mortar licensed restaurants. Just a little clarification. We thought, cafes, tea shops, and bakeries should have that component. Another is mobile food vendors on private property, just clarifying that they need to get the specific authorization from the property owner or legally authorized representative in writing, and not a business owner. We had some cases where a truck would come in with, hey, I have the permission of the owner. But it turns out the owner was the business owner, and the property owner was not aware. So it's important for the property owner's awareness and possibly liability that they're on board. We've got a solid definition for a street block. So that's important because the code says on the streets, there's some location requirements within that block area. And last is having put in that distance, a minimum distance of 100 feet between food trucks and sidewalk vendors, making sure that's giving us clear access for both pedestrians in the area and trucks and customers of the sidewalk vending. So I think we had one case also happened to have been at that 7747 Rosecrans by Staub Metals in the swap meet, where there was a conflict between a truck and customers of a sidewalk vendor. So that won't happen anymore upon adoption. So we're recommending approval. I also like to point out that we did send notice to the licensed food trucks that we would be having this discussion this evening. We did get a phone call from a representative from Bachiyaki. Bachiyaki is owned by Sylvia Cantu, but we got a call from a manager, Mike Peniche, who in 2020 gave some comments that helped you craft the 2020 ordinance. He thought that there should be more time during the evening, so staff explained that what we have is an extension, and he thought he might be here this evening. Interestingly enough, his co-manager, another manager from Bachiyaki, Eva Contreras, she was thrilled at the change. She's very happy about the proposed 1 hour. So little difference of opinion from Bachiyaki. And that concludes my presentation. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Okay, comments from council? Anyone? All right, we'll call a motion.
So move.
Okay, Ms. Luce, may we have a roll call, please?
Councilmember Aguayo?
Yes.
Councilmember Olmos? Yes. Councilmember Quer-Stallings?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Lemons?
Yes.
Mayor Delgadillo?
Yes. Thank you, John, for that report. Okay, next we have a public hearing to ordinance 1194, adopting the Los Angeles County Traffic Code. Mr. City Manager, may we have the report, please?
Sure, Madam Mayor. The next two items I'll handle. They're both related. The Paramount Municipal Code incorporates the LA County Traffic Code and as well as the Public Health Code. We adopt these county codes to ensure that we're using the most current version. The council must conduct a first reading of the ordinance and set a date for a public hearing. The first reading actually took place at the council meeting January 14th, and the public hearing is scheduled for this evening. So with that, the recommended action for this item is to read by title only and waive further reading and introduce ordinance 1194 and place it on the March 11th agenda for adoption. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions, council? Okay. Do I have any comments in favor? Is that right? Is that the next?
There are no comments.
There are no comments, so we move on to call for motion. I'm lost.
Close the motion
Close
to
it?
close the public hearing.
Okay, motion to close the public hearing.
So move. Second.
Okay, Ms. Luce, may we have roll call, please?
Councilmember Aguayo?
Yes.
Councilmember Olmos?
Yes.
Councilmember Quer-Stallings?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Lemons?
Yes.
Mayor Delgadillo?
Okay, yes.
And I'll move the item, Madam Mayor.
Yes.
Second.
Okay, call for motion for public hearing, closing?
The public hearing's been closed, and there was just a motion and a second to take the recommended action, so I'd be happy to call the roll if that's okay.
Yes, we'll go ahead, call the roll.
Councilmember Aguayo?
Yes.
Councilmember Olmos?
Yes.
Councilmember Quer-Stallings?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Lemons?
Yes.
Mayor Delgadillo?
Yes. So now we move on to Resolution 25.002.
Correct.
Okay, thank you. Amending the administrative fine schedule.
Actually, Madam, we do need to open the public hearing, close it for the next item. That's ordinance number 1195.
Yes.
So it's the same report, just with the public hearing for the LA
Okay.
County Health and Safety Code. So that report has
Okay.
already been given, and so now we'll hold the public hearing.
So we move to what?
Open the public hearing.
Okay, okay, I see where we're at. Okay, I'd like to open the public hearing. Are there any comments in favor?
No, Madam
We
Mayor,
don't go
no.
there yet?
Nope.
No.
You're fine. And then any
You're good.
opposition.
Okay, does anybody have an opposition?
No comments in opposition
Okay,
either.
now I'll close the public hearing.
Motion. Second.
Okay, Ms. Luce, roll call, please.
Councilmember Aguayo?
Yes.
Councilmember Olmos?
Yes.
Councilmember Quer-Stallings?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Lemons?
Yes.
Mayor Delgadillo?
Yes. Now I ask for comments from council.
I'll move the item, Madam Mayor.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, Ms. Luce, roll call, please.
Councilmember Aguayo?
Yes.
Councilmember Olmos?
Yes.
Councilmember Quer-Stallings? Vice Mayor Lemons?
Yes.
Mayor Delgadillo?
Yes. That was a little confusing for me. Thank you, girls. Next,
great.
thank you. Next, we have consideration resolution 25.002, amending the administrative fine schedule for social host fireworks violations. Mr. Moreno, may we have the report, please?
Absolutely, Madam Mayor. This, similar to item number 12, this is something else we presented to you recently, and this was an increase in the social host fine for fireworks-related incidents. We showed a survey of various cities' fines, and Paramount was one of the lowest for this category of fine. So the council gave us direction to come back to you with the resolution to increase the fine, and so that's what we're doing tonight. So with that, I'll turn it over to our management analyst in public safety, Mr. Danny Elizarias, who will handle this item. Danny.
Thank you, John. Good evening, Madam Mayor, City Council. I am here to present the proposed updates to our fireworks fine schedule under Resolution 25002. This proposal aims to address ongoing violations and ensure enhanced enforcement for our fireworks regulations. So for a little background, in 2002, the City Council adopted ordinance number 937, which included restrictions to regulate fireworks more effectively. In 2020, the City Council approved Resolution 20001, enabling citations for the possession and use of illegal fireworks, including establishing a fine for social hosts. In the last 2 years, the introduction of dash cam technology has enhanced enforcement capabilities. And most recently, the City Council approved ordinance number 1193, which updated the code and provided more clarity on fireworks regulations. Currently, our fireworks fine schedule includes penalties for various violations. While these fines align with neighboring cities in most areas, our social host fine remains significantly lower than other jurisdictions. When analyzed the fireworks fine schedules of 5 neighboring cities, as you can see, our social host fine is the lowest among them at only $250, whereas cities like Bellflower and Norwalk impose fines of $2,000. To strengthen enforcement and align with best practices, we're proposing increasing the social host fine from $250 to $1,000. This adjustment reflects the seriousness of hosting illegal fireworks activity while remaining less punitive than the $2,000 fine imposed by neighboring cities. This increase in fines will enhance enforcement efforts, particularly with the recently implemented dash cam technology, discourage illegal fireworks activity, and align our policies with regional best practices. Lastly, it doesn't overly burden the violator with an unreasonable fine amount. With that, we recommend the City Council adopt Resolution 25002, which amends the fireworks fine schedule by increasing the social host fine from $250 to $1,000. This update will improve compliance and enforcement efforts. That concludes my presentation. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Okay, any comments from council? No?
Move resolution. Second.
Okay. Ms. Luce, may we have roll call, please?
Councilmember Aguayo?
Yes.
Councilmember Olmos?
Yes.
Councilmember Quer Stallings?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Lemons?
Yes.
Mayor Delgadillo?
Yes. Our last items of new business is award of contract for the Civic Center Fountain Project, City Project number 9276. Mr. Moreno, may we have the report, please?
Yes, Madam Mayor. Lastly, we have an award of contract for a capital project that's long awaited. Sorry, my mic was off. Lastly, we have an award of contract for a capital project that we've been waiting for a while here, and it's ready to go. That's the Civic Center Gardens Improvement Project. The design of this project took some time to coordinate. We started with a plan to just replace, the tile, some of the tile. However, if you've done a kitchen remodel, for example, we kept adding things to the scope, including much needed water features and landscape improvements. And we kind of showed you along the way how this design would impact the current area. But we are, nonetheless, we're ready to go with the award of contract, and we're happy to get to this point, looking forward to starting construction. So with that, I'll turn it over to Ms. Adriana Figueroa, our Public Works Director. Adriana.
Thank you, John. Madam Mayor and members of the City Council, as John mentioned, the item before you this evening is the award of contract for the Civic Center Fountain Project. By way of background, the Civic Center Fountain area is the main entrance to City Hall from Paramount Boulevard. Its proximity to Paramount Boulevard in downtown has made this area a visitor attraction during city events such as the Heritage Festival and the annual tree lighting ceremony. And as you know, and as you recall, this area has been especially popular during the holidays with the decorative lighting on the palm trees, the hay tree, and the decor along the walkway paths. Given the aging infrastructure and need for repairs, the city hired Studio 111 with a vision to refresh the appearance and aesthetics of this area. Specifically, we wanted to tie in the mid-century modern look of our downtown area and the recent Civic Center signage. Conceptual designs were approved by the City Council in January of 24. Staff then worked with Studio 111 on the full design, which included several plan check reviews and approvals. Construction drawings and bid package were finalized in December of 24. Here are some images of the conceptual design. You've seen these already. This image is looking westbound from the entrance of the Civic Center area. This image reflects the seating areas in the middle of the Civic Center garden. It includes new benches, pavers, and string lights for added decor. In this area closest to the hospital includes misters that will come in handy during the summer months, and of course picnic tables and canopies for those enjoying lunch or break times. As you can see, this incorporates the mid-century modern look of the downtown area. And lastly, this is an aerial concept view of the Civic Center fountain and gardens from the entrance going west to the back near the hospital. So a request for proposals for this project was released on December 19, 2024, with bids due on January 28, 2025. 4 bids were received. The city also received a formal bid protest letter requesting the rejection and disqualification of Cosign Construction's bid. And during the bid analysis and proposal review process, the city determined that the bid submitted by Cosign Construction was in fact deemed non-responsive. It failed several sections of required submittals. ARC Construction, Inc. was deemed the low and responsible bid in the amount of $1,921,563.28. The total project cost, including the 10% contingency, comes to a little over $2.1 million. A total of $1.5 million was budgeted for construction in the CIP budget. Since the project will continue through fiscal year 26, the remaining $613,750 will be incorporated as part of the fiscal year 26 budget, utilizing capital project funds. And with that, staff recommends approval for this item. That concludes my report, and I'm available to answer any questions you may have.
Are there any comments from council?
I have a couple quick questions. So I understand from what I saw there, the project will be fully funded as of the 25-26 budget, right?
That is correct.
Okay. Secondly, when is the estimated start time?
I would say, counting the months, March we get the documents and the bonds. So likely end of April, beginning of May is when they can start.
And when are we projecting for completion?
Around July or August.
Oh, so pretty fast. Perfect. Because I was concerned if we were going to overlap with Christmas, because we're decorating the plaza now, and so I wanted to see if we could schedule around that. But it looks like we're doing that.
That is the anticipated schedule. Of course, as we move forward, if the item is approved with the contractor, once the contractor places the orders for materials, then we can have a little bit more understanding on the time frame. Yes.
Well, you'll just go get them wherever they're at, right, Adriana? I mean,
We'll rent a U-Haul truck and grab the misters.
We'll
the misters,
go get 'em. We'll go get 'em. My van's available. I'll load up whatever you need.
We have a whole team just waiting to go get those.
I would anticipate the misters may not fit. Those are the ones that I think are going to take a while to get, but they're going to be beautiful. The misters that you see in front of the hospital.
That's
and
new, right?
Yeah, all that's
That will
new.
be
The fountain's going to be remodeled. It's going to be look really
Wonderful.
cool.
Yeah.
Excited for it.
Beautiful.
So, yeah.
And so, again, start time you said was maybe April, and then about a 3-month.
I would say end of April, beginning of May. Because they
then
would have to
it'd be like
order
3 to 4
materials, and we don't usually like to have the contractor start the project until most materials have arrived.
Well, we
And
have a few
so-
months cushion there too before Christmas, so hopefully we can get it all in there and make it happen. All righty. Yes, I'm anxiously looking forward to it. I think it'll be beautiful.
I can't wait to see this. Are there any comments from council? Okay, I'll call for a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, Ms. Luce, may we have a roll call, please?
Councilmember Aguayo?
Yes.
Councilmember Olmos? Yes. Councilmember Quer-Stallings? Vice Mayor Lemons?
Yes.
Mayor Delgadillo?
Yes. Okay, we have no items under environmental sustainability this evening. We'll move on. Our last open session item is approval of the successor agency consent calendar. Is there a motion?
So moved. Second.
Okay, Ms. Luce, may we have roll call, please?
Councilmember Aguayo?
Yes.
Councilmember Olmos?
Yes.
Councilmember Quer-Stallings?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Lemons?
Yes.
Mayor Delgadillo?
Yes. Now is the time for comments and committee reports. We'll start with Madam Vice Mayor Lemons.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I have nothing to report.
Okay. Councilmember Aguayo?
I do actually have a couple committee reports. So actually, Council Member Claire Stallings and I were in Sacramento last Tuesday on an advocacy trip for the South East Gateway line. We met with different legislators, the Department of Transportation, and the governor's office, and they were all really positive meetings with them. So the plan is to go back in the near future and meet with other legislators that are not necessarily specific to or specifically representing the cities that are along the corridor, but also so we can get the support from the other legislators from LA County. So again, that was a really great trip. It was really busy. We hit the ground running. It was raining and extremely windy, but we got through it. And the other committee report I have is I was at the CWAC meeting, the Southeast Water Coalition, and that was it got pretty heated between the cities that are part of that committee and the WRD board. So really, for doing things that the cities feel are not necessarily transparent, and so the cities, were really standing together on this. But it shows how when all of our cities in our region work together, they keep telling us work together. Well, we do. And really, Derek from Lakewood and Kyle from Whittier really, I would say hit it out of the park because they had the information needed. They really stood up for all of our cities. So I want to make sure that, we know that and that, they see that we are working together. So, when we get messages or emails late at night, our cities, we are watching and we want what's best for our residents. So we are working together. So that's all I have.
Thank you, Councilmember. Very good report. Councilmember Olmos?
Yes, thank you, Madam Mayor. Just a couple of announcements. Councilmember Lemons and I attended the mobile home MOU meeting. I have to tell you, I think it was a perfect meeting. I think the way the staff set it up, the first round go was basically the education on how an MOU would work. And I think a lot of the mobile home families were like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. So I think that was a great setup of educating them first. And of course, then we went into the room with the mobile home ambassadors and then, of course, the renters of the mobile home. And I think you said it perfectly in that meeting. Peggy, I think there was a lot of miscommunication of what's happening in these parks. So I'm just hoping that we move this forward. I think there was a lot of good conversation. So again, kudos to the team for putting this together. And I look forward to us completing this venture and getting everybody on the same page. I do want to congratulate the Paramount High School cheerleaders. They did win the National High School Cheerleader Championship. This is the first time ever for Paramount High School in Florida. So I think the girls are in Florida. They may be coming home, I think, today. I saw some of them at Disneyland yesterday, and they got to see the Super Bowl champions in the parade. So they were at the Florida parade. So congratulations, Paramount High School.
Yeah.
And just a question for staff. For the 2028 Olympics, I'm just throwing this out there, a lot of cities are talking about doing visual, the big viewing parties. Not sure if the city of Paramount has ever, considered kind of what we're going to do for the Olympics. I was at a Metro meeting this morning in LA, and they were talking about just what's going to be happening with Metro, because that for these games, you cannot park. You have to take public transportation to get to the game. So that's going to be interesting. So Metro has a big challenge in front of them because there's no funding right now for that. But I was wondering, just something to think about if the 2020 Olympics comes, what we're going to be doing for our residents. So I'd just like to put that in our ears.
Great.
That's all I have, Madam Mayor.
Excellent report. Thank you for that information.
Of course.
Okay, Councilmember Cuellar Stallings?
Well, just kudos that Councilmember Aguayo and I attended the advocacy trip to Sacramento. It was very successful, I believe. And she mentioned we'll be returning soon. And I would also like to mention that a few of us, council members, attended Pastor Grady Jones' memorial service for his son.
Yes.
And that was very emotional. But they really had quite a few members of the community present.
Yes.
And also, I attended a Gateway Cities COG meeting, and things are moving along, and they spoke about the advocacy trip that we did, and they also mentioned some other things that are coming in place. And Madam Mayor, I only have a question for staff. How are the patios coming along for the restaurants, like especially Casa Gaminos?
Go ahead, Mr. King.
Yes, I can answer that. So this week was supposed to be a big week to kind of get to the end. It should be next week then because of the weather issues. What's left is the electrical's a big issue, and just one little small design issue. Casa Adelita is the one that's been the most problematic. I'm not sure if we briefed you on that, but the issue was there was an unforeseen. What happened was in digging one of the posts, there was a pipe for the fire suppression system. So that was a bad combination. So it took some time to. Turns out that it's not as simple as relocating plumbing. So there's been some design work behind that. But I think we really are in the home stretch. In the next couple of weeks, it should all be done.
And John, may I ask, what are the size of the patios?
They vary. So the El Tapatio is a slightly larger. I would say maybe 250 square feet for that one, and the others are, actually maybe that's fair to say, about 250 square feet more or less.
Okay. Madam Mayor, I just want to wish everybody a happy Valentine's Day. Enjoy your day with your loved one, or even by yourself, it's okay. And that's all I have, Madam Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Quire Stallings. Now, as for myself, at this time, I do not have anything to report. Mr. Moreno, are there any comments from staff?
A couple of quick congratulatory items. Congratulations to Councilmember Olmos for being elected to the AQMD board. So she will represent our region well. So with the experience that we've had, so with their quality, thank you. Also, I'd like to announce that not quite a promotion, but I'm taking off the title of interim director to full-on director for Mr. John King. He's now our full-on planning director. So congratulations to John. And that concludes comments from staff, Madam Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Now the City Council will recess into closed session. Mr. Moreno, will you please announce the closed session item?
Absolutely. The City Council will now go into closed session to conference with legal counsel. Existing litigation, we have one case, and this is in pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.9, subsection D1, Shadowwood Development versus City of Paramount, case number 22 STCVO 940.
It's okay. It's on now. Okay, now I call the city council meeting back to order. Open session. Mr. Gorelli, may we please have the report from closed session?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. The City Council met in closed session to discuss the one item on the posted agenda. All 5 council members were present, and no reportable action was taken on that item. Thank you.
Okay, there being no further business before the city council, this meeting is adjourned to a meeting on February 25th, 2025 at 5 p.m. in the council chamber here at City Hall. Thank you. Have a good evening, everyone.
Hello, I'm John Carver, Planning Director with the City of Paramount. I'm here today to explain how to build or convert